Hello, welcome to the Fairy in the Woods podcast. And if you are listening on Spotify or YouTube and not watching the video, I am a frog. I have a frog hat on. And today I'm here with my partner, Lewis, who is a mushroom.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking about some queer things, because that's the whole point of this podcast. Now, I've already introduced Lewis as my partner, but Lewis, why don't you tell him a little bit about yourself?
So, my name is Lewis, or I go by Louie, or Lou, or L. I have a lot of aliases. I have spent a really long time trying to find myself and my queer identity, and it's been a roller coaster. I first came out as a bisexual, and then I came out as a lesbian. I stayed in the lesbian identity for a while. I really explored that, and then I realized that I was not, in fact, a girl. So then I came out as trans. I was a trans mask at first, but then I started to lean more into gender fluidity. So that's where I'm at now. It's been quite the journey. It's been quite the ride, and I've changed myself a lot, and I've changed my perspective on who I want to be a lot. I can tell you that gender is not an easy thing. Gender is more complex than you'll ever understand, and I'm still trying to figure out my gender to this day. Yeah.
Well, you just jumped right into it. I was going to ask you some questions first, but you just went head first, which...
Sorry about that.
No.
I like to take initiative.
Yeah, no, I like that. I appreciate that. So I wanted to start off by asking you, when you first knew that you were queer, whether that be trans or gay of any sort, do you have a time frame of when you were younger, around an age or a specific moment?
So, I knew I was different from everybody else when I was probably around the age of 6 or 7, which is what a lot of people tend to say. I'm not just saying that because I was born Catholic, so I went to church. And I knew that I was gay when I started fantasizing about women. I would go...
Wait, for context, you were born a woman.
I was born female. Or assigned female at birth, if you want to, AFAB, if you want to get technical with it. It wasn't until I was in my end of elementary school, beginning of middle school, that I really started exploring my identity and started confronting the fact that I might just be a little bit more than straight. I actually never really conceptualized sexuality as being an issue. I grew up in a very loving, very accepting house, so I never really had a problem with that. My mom had a gay best friend who was pretty vocalized in my house. So, but I never knew anybody that was a lesbian, so that was kind of a weird thing for me. I initially came out as bisexual because I was like, I still like men, which I do to this day, clearly.
I'm a man, kinda. So you'd say you're more...
I'm pansexual.
Pansexual
yeah.
than bisexual.
I just, what I'm trying to say is that I don't really care about, what you were assigned at birth as
Right.
long as you are a loving, caring human being. That's all I care about.
Right.
Basically, I came out, I first started realizing it when I was, around that age. This is something that is actually extremely common. Didn't know this, but children start exhibiting their sexuality very, very young when they start playing with toys.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was really young, I would make my Barbie dolls naked.
Me too.
Make love.
Me too.
So
Preach, brother, preach.
So if that's if that's any indication that I'm queer, I think that, and I still had crushes on guys, but it wasn't. I have to say, sapphic love, although I am non-binary, gender fluid, whatever now, sapphic love is so beautiful and so deep that it goes beyond my love for men, and I will always say that. There is just something so beautiful and so intricate about the love that women have for each other that I can kind of say that I've experienced being a gay man, so maybe I understand. I've never had any relations with men with... I've never had any relations with a penis before in my life, so I can't really say. But I've dated trans men.
AKA me.
Right. And I've also had crushes and have had very deep relationships with men, with assigned men at birth and cisgender men, basically. And I can say that love is so different, and it will never compare. So, you know, when we go to, I think it's so interesting, just within like comparing gay love versus straight love or heterosexual love, whatever you want to call it, there are a lot of differences. But even within the gay community, there's a lot of differences between lesbian love and gay love. And I think,
you know, the U-Haul lesbian.
no, I'm not talking about U-Haul lesbians. I'm talking about the soft touch of a woman.
But like, I think it's related because I've been a lesbian before too. Before I was, I've been
a lesbian before.
I've been all of the LGBTQ.
Right. The whole alphabet.
I've been the whole alphabet. So I can understand. I think U-Haul is somewhat part of it because I just feel like lesbian relationships, not relations, tend to be intense quickly.
Very intense.
You get a crush on someone and then all of a sudden it's just like, whoa, this is the love of my life. So I think it... Huh? What did you say? I didn't even hear that.
I said, which is how it should be.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that. I think that can bring some love bombing, but...
Okay, I think there's a difference between love bombing and then you have, like, the fairy tale love that you always dream of, and I think that a lot of us spend so much time finding ourselves, and I think that's the difference between, if you want to call them U-Haul lesbians, and, like, gay men, is that they do have such different experiences with their sexuality. You know, you have that, like... you have the stereotypes of U-Haul lesbians. You have the stereotypes of gay men sticking their penis wherever they want, and it's like, how true are those stereotypes though? Because
I think that stereotypes
are based in truth,
somewhat based in truth. I think that stereotypes can be negative depending on what they are, but like, it's a very I mean, the U-Haul lesbian didn't. I don't know exactly where it stemmed from, but I feel like it's something that's used within the community to talk about a shared experience that most people have as a lesbian.
Yeah, no, I totally get, like, that stereotypes are there for a reason, like, in some ways, because, like, we've established them. No, I do think that they're based in truth, but I'm saying that I think that if we're analyzing the two, the difference is that I think with women, just the experience of growing up as a woman is, like, so unique because we're shot with all of these expectations and we're also put down by men.
Right.
And, like, yeah, I'm a feminist. I'm a raging feminist. Come at me. Men be putting us down. Doesn't matter if you're a cis woman.
Men put everyone down.
Men be putting everybody down. I'm not, what is that, a meninist? No, that's the opposite.
I don't fucking know.
Okay, so whoever hates men, which I guess people believe that feminists are like that, which they're not. It's literally advocating for equal rights for all genders, but...
And everyone.
And everybody.
But unless you're a TERF, a
trans...
a trans-exclusionary radical feminist. TERFs don't want equality for all. They just want equality for women who are born women.
Right, so J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling
is a TERF.
Period. I don't hate all men. I just don't like a lot of them.
I don't hate all men. I hate
the system. I don't hate all men. I hate the fucking system that makes them hate women.
We all hate the patriarchal system. You're raised to be dainty and polite, and again, being a Catholic, I had these pushed on me too. My nana was very, just like so hell bent on me being a lady, and my dad was extremely hell bent on making sure that I was extremely apologetic, and as polite as possible. And I feel like that is an extreme, that, like, if you think about that, think about like the 18th century, the 19th century, when you had to be a proper lady. Yeah, that shit's still here.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. And so what I did was at a very young age, rebelled against that. I would burp as loudly as possible at any time that I wanted, because I would wear Converse with my dresses. I would refuse
edgy.
So edgy. Refuse to paint my nails. Refuse to get my ears pierced. I tried to combat the being a Sagittarius and everything. I had to combat the system in any way that I could, because I didn't like that I was being, restricted in any way. And then and the beautiful thing about sexuality and becoming who you are is that once you're let out of that cocoon and you're transformed into this beautiful gay butterfly, I realized that not only did I become an atheist, which I'm not anymore. I'm spiritual.
Don't say it like it's a bad thing.
It's not, but a lot of people say that as if it's a mocking thing. So it's like
I think being spiritual is fine.
I'm Buddhist, whatever you want to call it. I just believe in. I'm more of a druid than anything. I've taken up druid craft, druidity, and I don't know if that's a word, but basically, the pipeline is that I started coming out and I started questioning the church's beliefs more and more as an intelligent person does. And I go, there's something ain't right about this. So then you learn in school that the church really just be doing it for money. So then you go, okay, so what is all this spirituality really about then? And I think being a white person, being a white Roman Catholic person, I've had a very different upbringing, because I don't think that they have much of a community. I mean, they do. What do they have, like muffins and coffee afterwards sometimes? That was my experience.
There's community, but it's like a church community.
But it's a church community. No, because not all church communities are so, there's some that are strong. And I just did not grow up in a very strong church. Well, I kind of did. I went to church picnics and everything. Like, I was a part of the community, whatever. But it wasn't a very warm community. When I came out to my dad, he knew that I was a lesbian, whatever. This actually shocked my parents, but did not make them hate me or anything. Then he kicked me out. I'm very grateful for that. Again, I grew up in a very accepting Roman Catholic family. He asked me, because this is when me telling him that I didn't believe in God anymore was worse than me telling him that I was gay.
Heaven forbid.
Heaven forbid. And I said to him, I'm like, Dad, I need to talk to you about something. He's like, what? He's like, do you want to go to a more inclusionary church? And I was like, no. I was starting to rethink the God thing. I was like, that doesn't. Maybe I'll set that aside. Maybe we'll go to the church. I didn't do that. I said to him, Dad, I don't believe in God anymore. And he goes, what? What did you say? I'm like, I don't believe in God anymore. I think it's a hoax. Man didn't talk to me for about a week. A week. Yep.
Wow.
So, if that tells you anything about religion versus sexuality, is that to some religion, and we know this, that religion is far more of a cut than sexuality will ever go. And that just shows you how insecure people are about their sexuality. Because religion should never surpass our most basic human rights. Ever. And I think being able to live within your sexuality is a basic human right, in my opinion. So, I don't know if that made any sense or if that was connected in any way, but I'm a little lost, but... So, let me bring you back. My whole point was that my dad cared more about his religion than he did about whether or not he loved me as a basic human being. For some, it's the opposite, right? You tell your parent that you're gay, and let's just say that they're homophobic and not accepting. Some will bring God into the equation, some won't. But that cuts deep, right? That cuts really deep. Some people will revert back to their religion, always, and in a way of comfort from sexuality. And I just think it's funny how people seem to value that more,
That people value religion more?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because
my mom was definitely more upset when I said that. To be fair, I used to fight my mom on Christianity because I grew up in a Christian household. I'd be like, Mom, I don't think God's real, and let's talk about it. Let's go through the reasons why I don't think God's real. I was like, if God's real, why the fuck would he have created this world? I think that's a pretty fair point.
Dude's a sick man.
Yeah, and I think she'd get upset with me over it. But I told her, Mom, I'm dating a girl while we're cooking dinner, and she's like, Okay, cool. What's her name?
So you can see here that religion cuts far more deep because it's people's
Beliefs, their whole life's beliefs. Yeah.
surpass who they are as a person.
Yeah, I think that society as a whole cares too much about what other people do with their lives, especially with their belief systems. Like, you don't have to hate other people just because they don't believe what you believe in.
Do you know why that is?
I think you're gonna tell me.
Because we're lonely.
I don't know about that. I think we are lonely, but I just think that beliefs are so instilled in us, and we think they matter so much. And I think with the church community, especially with the Catholics, my mom grew up Catholic. They instill in you that if you don't believe in this, if you sin, you're like a bad person or you're going to hell, and anyone else who does these things as well will also go to hell. And so therefore you start really caring about what other people's beliefs are, and if they don't believe in what you believe in, you're like, oh my god, they're gonna go to hell, even though, bitch, hell's on earth. That's my hot take. Hell is on earth, and when we die we go to heaven.
So
Everyone.
I think it's interesting that you bring that up because yes, people do care a lot about what other people do, but we're naturally inclined to do that. And because we feel so protected, we're afraid of death in the most...
I'm ready to go.
You might say that, but when the time comes, you don't know. Because death is terrifying, and it's the most certain thing that we're ever going to have.
I go to sleep at night peaceful because I know one day I'll fucking die.
So,
one day my suffering will be over.
Right. So I used to think like that, but then I started to think about it in a different way because then I actually almost died.
Right.
And I started to look at consciousness a different way. I started to look at my body a different way, and I started to realize that, like, we can lose our limbs.
Right.
We can't lose our sight. Everything that we experience is through our eyeballs. You can lose your sight too, and then you experience the world in different ways.
Not everything is experienced through our sight. Like, we have like taste and hearing.
I know, but it's still a perception. It's still a sense. So it's all through. We view the world through our senses.
Yeah, and if you take all those away,
then what are you?
What your
consciousness? You're just thinking.
Yeah.
But
how do you think if you can't hear? If you've never learned words?
Exactly. You don't know.
I don't know. That must be how animals think.
Probably.
And I really want to know what that's like. Speaking of animals, there's a chicken coming towards me.
Hey, chicken.
And there's a bunny on the other side.
I think our fear of death is so strong that we root ourselves so deeply in our faith. So then when our faith misguides us, which means that we're not looking at our reality, which is in our sexuality, then we are misguided in our religion. Because I do believe that we should have some sort of religion because it just exists. There's... What? What?
Sorry.
He's got to say something. What do you have to say?
I think we need religion because we need to have faith that things will always work out in the end, and we need to have belief systems that we go based off of. Because I've talked about this before with my mom in very great detail when we're having our debates about Christianity. She's like, if you're not a Christian and you're just an atheist, where are your morals? And it's like, I don't know, I create them myself. But sometimes the morals we create for ourselves are not for our best good. And that's why I think having some sort of spirituality or religion is important. I don't think you need to be super, like, anal about following them, because you're supposed to make mistakes. But I think it's good to have guidance.
Well, if you have life, you have spirituality.
Right.
So you have to believe in something. So I just think that if you think about the chakra system, you have a root chakra. We have everything, the foundation of who we are. We have our connection to Mother Earth. It's the most natural. It's our connection to nature. And then right above that, we have the sacral chakra or the sacral chakra. I don't know. I get corrected on it all the time. That's where our sexuality comes from. So it's that foundational within us, if you want to think about it that way. It's so connected to who we are, and it's so connected to how we perceive the world, that the more that we become comfortable in it and the more we explore it, the more areas of our life start opening up. And
Sex is the key to life.
Sex is the key to life, indeed.
I like that. I like that take. Because it's true.
Right.
Because, like, if we have repressed sexuality, it causes us to do horrible things to other people.
Exactly. And that's why we kill people.
Yeah, we kill people, we assault people.
Right.
We are just angry people. We grow so much hatred for ourselves and resentment for ourselves that we push on other people.
Do you know what? There's a quote that I read from a book recently, and it was, the more that you guard a lie, the angrier you become.
Can you say that again?
The more that you guard a lie, the angrier you become.
Yeah, angry people.
I think, and I might be wrong about this, but queer people are going to save the world. It is the key.
We are already.
Queer love is the key to the future. And I think it's already happening. And the people that have traditional values and are stuck in their ways seem like the majority. That's because they're the minority. There's this saying about, like, if you make your voice louder, then you're going to be heard more. So it creates the illusion of sounding good. Like, the more confidence that you have, the better you look. But it's all illusion. Because in the end, what do they have to stand on? You can either look the part or be the part. Okay? We people in the queer community, we've spent decades. I'm only 21, so I had to think about that. I'm only 21.
You had to think about it.
Right. I've spent 2 decades of my life figuring myself out.
And you're still figuring yourself out.
I'm still figuring myself out. What makes me different from everybody else? Nothing. Nothing really. My life circumstances, whatever.
I think we're all different from one another.
Yes, but
we have similar experiences.
What I'm trying to say is, at one point in my life, was I homophobic? Maybe a little.
Well, you grew up Catholic. That's pretty fair.
Right, but I'm saying that, like, people have the opportunity to grow. The more that you love yourself. So if we encourage people rather than put them down, if we open up conversations rather than arguing, then I think it creates more of a conversation within themselves. You think that you don't affect people, especially the people that you argue with about, like, religion or their sexuality or whatever. They take that shit to heart. Trust me, everybody takes everything to heart. They will go home thinking about that, and they might be angrier and angrier and angrier to the point where, like, you know, people blow up. You have to understand that you planted a seed within that person. You changed that person. So having conversations with difficult people is vitally important, because it is the only thing that will save us.
Yeah.
I'm being so for real.
No,
because when I was in middle school, I would come across countless of people that were, like, I know, outwardly racist and outwardly homophobic, and they would ask me, because I wasn't like, you know, like, screaming at them or, like, whatever. I wasn't trying to start arguments with them. I was just cordial with them. They would ask me questions. They'd be like, so lesbian sex? And I'm like, this is a great start. Glad that you're asking me about this. Because although it is offensive to ask a lesbian about lesbian sex, if that's not clear to anybody.
I've also had that experience.
Right. I started educating them instead. So...
But it brings the question, are queer people responsible for educating other people?
I think we're all responsible for educating each other.
See, because that's a thing. That's a thing within all marginalized communities of, oh, it's not my responsibility to educate you.
Well, thankfully we live in the age of the internet, so you can educate yourself no matter what.
That's true. I mean, I work at a Pride Center, and I have to educate people, and I try my best, but a lot of the times it's me explaining things for people and telling them to go to different resources and look at it themselves.
Yeah,
so
that's great. That's a part of helping people, though.
Yeah.
So you're still giving them resources, like,
yeah,
no matter what. I think it's just important to not stand down in face of adversity, because if somebody asked me to leave a restaurant because I was trans, I would say, no, the fuck, I'm not leaving. This is my right. You can pull my ass from the restaurant.
When would that ever happen?
This has happened to this has happened to the trans girls.
Oh, really?
I've seen it a lot on TikTok. Yep.
I have not.
I saw at one point there was an uproar of like people saying like somebody filmed them getting thrown out of a restaurant, and then it started a whole thing in the trans community where it was like, I wouldn't have left that restaurant, yada yada yada. Like, no, I wouldn't have. And you know why? Because it's my right to be there. And
well, I have a different take. If somebody asked me to leave their restaurant, I'd say, "Okay, bitch, I don't want to be here anyway."
And that's what they said.
Yeah, I don't want to be in an environment where I'm not accepted.
Okay, true.
I'd go to a queer-friendly restaurant.
But personally, because of the kind of person that I am, I would stay there to make a point.
Okay, that's your choice.
But so maybe I shouldn't encourage people to do this, and I don't want you to just like put yourself in places that are uncomfortable, because that was a point that they made.
It could be potentially unsafe too.
Unsafe too, yeah. And
I think safety is a #1 priority for queer people.
Which is true.
We should always do what's in our best interest to keep us safe. But I think it's also important to still fight back against that. Like, if someone tried to kick me out because I was trans, which would never happen to me, I feel like I passed pretty well. But I'd probably leave because I don't feel comfortable, and then I'd probably make a video about it. And I'd be like, this place kicked me out because I was trans. If you're trans, don't go here.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting because, like, I just don't let people tell me what to do. Because I
think you should.
No. And maybe I have a radical view on it.
You just... Oh, we got a dog.
Bravo.
Doggy coming in.
Bravo's coming.
Bravo.
Hi, Bubby. Hi, honey. Hello.
You're like a horse.
He literally just sounded like a horse. I don't know.
That was the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Hi.
And that's what he has to say about that.
You want to sit for the podcast?
He just might.
So
yeah, no, I agree with you that trans safety is
queer safety.
Queer safety is the top importance.
Yeah.
But
but this is interesting now because you're kind of being a hypocrite because you're saying I don't like it when people tell me what to do.
I don't.
But you're saying that we should tell people what to do. We should educate people.
Well, okay. I don't think that you should.
Because what if somebody tells you what to do because you were wrong?
I don't think educating people is telling them what to do. I think educating people is giving them tools. Because,
if somebody comes to you and is like, what should I do? My daughter is trans. That's telling somebody what to do. But I'm just saying, like, if you're like, well, I don't like being told what to do. I just do whatever I want.
Well, then I would ask them, what do you want? And then I would say, it's not about what you want. It's about what your child wants and what your child needs.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you what to do with your life. I'm not telling you. I'm giving you information that is readily available to you. And I'm saying, do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. Because never in my life do I really ever try to tell people what to do with their lives. All I do is respond and tell them, like, X, Y, and Z. Maybe I have in my life tried to tell people what to do with their lives.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
I'm sure I have. But I make an attempt not to. Because I know that I'm just going to get, oh, well, I don't know if I want to do that. And it's like, okay, fine, don't. I'm just giving you information and telling you, this is my experience, this is what I've done about it. This is this is my, this is what I read on the topic. This is the information that I read. Oh, you don't like this article because it's, like, from a publication that you don't agree with? Okay, find one in your publication that agrees with you, and then read it. And if you want to believe it, then fine. Because people are always going to want to believe what they want to believe. You can give them pieces of information and say, here's everything I know about with queer identity. This is what I know about trans, like, safety and health. So
I think the key...
You can give people, but they will see what they want to see.
No, I know. But I think the key to finding understanding with people who are not accepting is understanding them and getting on their level with things.
Right.
And being like, I can understand. Like, they're not understanding something, so you have to try to understand them so they can understand. Be like, I understand that you come from this background and this is not normal for you, and you may think this way and this way. Let me help you understand and have the deep conversation with them about it.
And that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you basically have to have a debate with people where you look at both sides of the argument and then you counter it. You say, okay, I understand where you're coming from, and I like, I've read those things, I've understood those things, like, I've been through those things before. So I have things that I've discovered after the fact, and I've seen it from a different perspective. I've been there, done that, and now this is where I am. And you can disagree with me all you want. You can say that the evidence of people in the queer community, that they have like the high levels of suicide, are just statistics, and you know that's not going to happen to my child because they're not going to be queer. You have to explain to them that you can't change who people are in the best way possible.
Right.
They're
going to be trans no matter what, whether you accept them or you don't accept them.
Because you're still including the language in what you hate, is the thing. You're still including it in the room. You're still acknowledging that it's a thing. So you can't say, no, that's not going to be my kid.
No, true.
No, my kid's not gay. Your kid's gay, and once you accept it, you can either go one of two ways. You can hate it, or you can love them. And when you hate it,
your kid's gonna hate you.
Your kid's not only gonna hate you, but they're gonna hate themselves, because who do they love more than anything in the world? Their parents. Who do they look up to more than anybody in the world? Their parents. They are a direct creation from you.
Period. I just think that this was funny, how you were bringing up this point. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. This fairy in the woods has allergies.
Very good.
End the podcast. No, I just think it's funny that you were mentioning all this, because literally the other day I gave you a suggestion on something. I was like, you should do this. And you were like, don't tell me what to do. And I was like, I didn't tell you what to do. I said you should. It was a suggestion.
I know. I like to mess with him.
We like to fake argue.
Yeah. Keeps the
relationship fiery. Keeps it all on.
Does it though? Or does it make problems?
I think we laugh it off. I think we both know we're both fucking with each other.
Okay. When you get to that level, you can.
Yeah, it reminds me of my grandparents, how they grandparent bicker when it's like not real bickering.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm not telling you what to do, honey. It was a suggestion.
It was literally like,
Don't put the armchair there. Why? It catches the sunlight real nice.
I don't like it there. I told you this before.
I don't like the way the curtains look.
Alright. Oh, take them down then. I don't want
I don't like the padding.
Alright. Well, we'll figure it out.
Don't put the side table there.
Alright.
It's crooked.
Alright. I think we need to end it here.
The takeaways that I've gotten from this podcast are that queer people are going to save the world with their love.
We gotta understand people to help them understand us.
And that we need to understand ourselves in order to understand each other.
And sexuality is the
basis of who we are.
And sex is life.
Sex is life.
Yep. Lewis, would you like to tell the people where they can follow you for more?
For more? I don't really have anything, but...
You're lying. You are an independent artist, and you also make videos sometimes.
Yeah.
Where can people follow you?
You can follow me at 2zebrasart on Instagram, or if you want to follow me on my regular account, it's Starfish Jazz.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what about TikTok?
Big Louie 22.
Perfect.
Big Lewis 22.
Go
Sorry.
follow them. They're pretty cool.
I'm not big. That's the whole joke. I'm legally
I'm
legally a small gentleman.
Okay. And I love it.
You heard it here.
I love being the taller one. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Fairy in the Woods. This podcast is available on YouTube and Spotify, both video version and an audio only for Spotify. And my other social media is Myka Richard on Instagram and TikTok. If you'd like to follow me there, I post podcast clips. I post... Huh?
Podcast.
I fucked that up a little bit. Pretend that didn't happen.
I gotcha.
I post podcast clips, and I also post my art and my hot takes and anything and everything that I want to. So go follow me there if you're interested. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Until next time.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.